They call him the Silent Blade, the warrior who appeared in 4 separate battles across 3 years, saved 4 different alphas from certain death, then vanished like smoke. No scent trail, no voice, no name, just blood in the snow and lives that shouldn't have survived. I know because I'm him, and I just got hired to be their assistant. The elevator to the top floor of Kang Industries smelled like expensive cologne and old money. I kept my eyes down, clutching my worn messenger bag against my chest. The employment agency lady had been very clear. Don't speak. Don't make eye contact. Be invisible. Easy enough when you're mute. The doors opened with a soft chime, revealing a penthouse office that could fit my entire apartment building. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked Hyundai Beach, the winter sun turning the ocean silver. 4 men stood around a glass conference table, and the alpha pheromones hit me like a wall. My wolf stirred for the first time in months. Not, yet I told it, stay down. Han Yuri? The eldest one spoke first. Kang Ji-won, CEO, 29, with a scar running through his left eyebrow that I'd given him while carrying him out of a burning building in Gwangju. He didn't remember. He'd been unconscious and I'd been a white wolf with a broken leg. I bowed, pulled out my notepad, wrote, "Yes, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. You're younger than I expected." That was Park Min-ho, head of security, 28, built like a tank. I'd taken 3 bullets meant for him during an ambush in Daegu. He spent 6 months hunting for the phantom sniper who'd saved him. Never thought to look for a 17-year-old Omega with a talent for precognition and a stolen rifle. I wrote, "I'm 22, I work hard. Can you actually do the job?" Choi Sung-jin, CFO, 28, soft-spoken with glasses that made him look kind. I'd pulled him out of a frozen river in Sokcho during a territory dispute, breathed life back into his lungs while his pack searched in the wrong direction. I can organize, file, prepare documents, and keep schedules. I don't require much sleep. Why can't you speak? Yoon Tae-hyun, the youngest at 27, leaned against the window with his arms crossed. Sharp jawline, sharper eyes. I'd shielded him from a silver grenade in Incheon, and the shrapnel had torn through my throat instead of his spine. That's the one that stole my voice. I touched my neck briefly. Wrote, "Accident, years ago, a half-truth, the best kind." Ji-won studied me with dark eyes that missed nothing. "The agency said you're Omega, unmated. Do you have blockers?" I nodded, pulling the medical bracelet from under my sleeve. Industrial-grade scent suppressants, expensive, black market. Heat cycles? Suppressed, won't be an issue. Criminal record? No, sir. Why do you want this job? I hesitated, let my hand tremble a little as I wrote, "I need the money. My brother is sick. Medical bills. All true." Hajun's illness was part of why I'd taken these jobs in the first place. Someone had to pay for his treatments while he finished university. Minho stepped closer, and I forced myself not to tense. He moved like a predator, and my precognition flared. A split-second flash of him grabbing my wrist, feeling the calluses, questioning them. I shifted my bag to hide my hands. "You'll be working closely with all 4 of us," Sung-jin explained gently. "We need someone trustworthy, discreet. The things you'll see and hear in this office are confidential." I met his eyes for just a second, nodded seriously. Taehyun pushed off the window. "You seem scared." "I'm not scared," I wrote. "I'm Omega. There's a difference." His eyebrow arched. "Is there?" Fear is loud. Omegas learn to be quiet. Ji-won's lips twitched, almost a smile. "When can you start?" "Now, if you need me." "Bold." Minho circled me, slowly. I tracked him in my peripheral vision, body language submissive but spine straight. "What if we're terrible bosses? What if we work you to death?" I tilted my head. Wrote, "Then I'll die rich enough to save my brother. Win-win." Taehyun actually laughed. "I like him." "Don't get attached," Ji-won said coolly. "We've gone through 12 assistants in 6 months. They never last." I wanted to write, "Because you're looking for me," but instead put, "I'll last." "Confident for someone who can't even speak up for himself," Minho muttered. "Speaking is overrated. People who talk too much usually say nothing important. Seungjin smiled behind his hand. He's got you there, Minho. Ji-won stood, extending his hand. Trial period, 2 weeks. Prove you're worth keeping. I shook it. His grip was firm, warm. My precognition sparked. A flash of him covered in blood, my blood, screaming my name. Not yet, I thought. You don't know my name yet. Minho will show you around, Ji-won said. Don't touch anything in my office. Don't enter the East Wing. Don't ask questions. I bowed again, collected my notepad. As I followed Minho toward the hallway, Taehyun called out, Hey, Yuri! I turned. Why aren't you afraid of us? I wrote quickly, held it up. Should I be? His smile was dangerous. Most people are. Most people didn't save your life, I thought, but wrote instead, I've met worse. The lie tasted like copper, because the truth was, these 4 men terrified me more than any battlefield ever had. Not because they were alphas, but because seeing them alive, healthy, whole, it made the last 6 years of pain feel worth it. And that was the most dangerous thing of all. Minho's hand landed on my shoulder, steering me down a hallway lined with abstract art that probably cost more than Hajun's entire treatment plan. East Wing is off limits, he said, voice clipped. That's our personal gym and living quarters. You don't clean there. You don't deliver files there. You don't even look at the door. I nodded, memorizing the layout anyway. 3 exits, 2 staircases, bulletproof glass on every window, security cameras in every corner except, I glanced up, the blind spot near the ventilation shaft. Old habits. You paying attention? I blinked at him, wrote, yes, no East Wing. Got it. Good. He stopped at a smaller office adjoining the main conference room, minimalist desk, 2 monitors, filing cabinets that looked expensive and unnecessary. This is yours. We'll send tasks through the company system. Lunch is provided. Bathrooms are down the hall. Don't steal anything. Wasn't planning on it. Everyone says that. He leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, studying me like I was a puzzle with missing pieces. You're not what I expected. I raised an eyebrow, gestured to myself. Too Omega? Too young? Too mute? Too calm? His eyes narrowed. Most Omegas walk into a room with 4 unmated alphas and smell like anxiety. You smell like nothing. Good blockers. Too good. He stepped closer. My precognition flared, a flash of him reaching for my wrist, noticing the scars, connecting dots I couldn't afford him to connect. I pulled my sleeve down casually, wrote, Is there a problem, sir? Minho, just Minho. He studied my face for a long moment. No problem, yet. The yet hung in the air like a threat. Get settled, he said finally. Ji-won will send your first assignment in 10 minutes. Don't be late. He hates late. I bowed slightly. He left, footsteps silent for a man his size. The moment the door closed, I exhaled. 6 years, I thought. 6 years and they don't recognize me. Good. That was good. I set my bag down, pulling out the only personal items I'd brought. Hajun's photo, a pack of cheap pens, and the burner phone I used for hospital updates. The office smelled like leather and cold air conditioning. Impersonal. Safe. My fingers traced the edge of the desk. 2 weeks, the job listing had said. High pay. Discretion required. I'd known it was them the moment I saw the company name. Kang Industries. The same corporation Ji-won had been building when rogues tried to burn him alive. I'd been 17 tracking a completely different target when my precognition had screamed danger 30 seconds before the warehouse exploded. I'd gone in anyway, pulled him out with a broken leg and second-degree burns. He never saw my human face, just white fur and golden eyes before I disappeared into the smoke. The computer chimed. New message. From Kang Ji-won. Subject, Task 001. Compile security reports from the past 6 months. Cross-reference with incident logs. Deliver hard copies to my office by 3 p.m. No digital versions, no mistakes. I checked the time. 10:47 a.m. 4 hours for a job that should. Take 6, testing me already. Fine. I cracked my knuckles and got to work, except the files were a disaster, mislabeled, incomplete, dates out of order. Someone had either been spectacularly incompetent or deliberately sabotaging their own records. My precognition pulsed softly, the way it did when danger was distant but approaching. I closed my eyes, letting the visions flicker past. A man in a dark coat, standing outside the building, watching the 43rd floor. A calendar, 2 weeks from now, circled in red, blood on marble tile. I opened my eyes, pulse steady despite the warning. Something was coming, something aimed at them. Not my problem, I told myself firmly. You're here for the paycheck. 2 weeks, then you disappear. But my hands were already sorting the files differently, rearranging them so the pattern became visible. 3 near-miss accidents in 4 months, 2 random security breaches, 1 delivery driver who'd never been seen again after dropping off a package to Sungjin's office. I pulled out my notepad, started mapping connections. A knock at the door made me jump. Taehyun leaned in, holding 2 coffee cups. Thought you might need caffeine. He set one on my desk. Iced Americano, my favorite. I stared at it, then at him. He grinned. Lucky guess. You look like an iced coffee person. How? I didn't write it. Just picked up the cup slowly. Ji-won's a hard ass on first days, Taehyun continued, perching on the edge of my desk like he owned it, which technically he did. Don't stress. He's testing you. He tests everyone. I sipped the coffee. Perfect. Damn it. So, Taehyun tilted his head. 22, mute, crazy good blockers, sick brother. What else should we know about you, Han Yuri? That I've killed for you, I thought. That I still have scars from saving your life. That I dream about Incheon sometimes and wake up tasting silver. I wrote instead, I'm boring. Work. Hospital, sleep, repeat. Liar. My pen froze. You've got calluses on your fingertips, he said casually, but not from typing. And your posture is too good. Military? Yoga, I wrote, heart rate spiking. Yoga, he laughed. Right. And I'm a monk. I underlined it. Yoga. He leaned closer and my precognition flared hot. He's going to touch your hand. He'll feel the scars. He'll know. I pulled back, knocking over the coffee. It splashed across the desk, soaking the files I just organized. Shit! Taehyun grabbed napkins from somewhere. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I was already moving, salvaging papers, my hands quick and efficient. Too efficient. When I looked up, he was staring at me. You move fast, he said quietly. I shrugged, wrote with a shaking hand. Clumsy. Sorry. Don't apologize. His voice had gone soft, dangerous. I'm the one who got too close. You have no idea, I thought. But I just nodded, started cleaning up the mess. Yuri. I looked up. His smile was gone. If someone here makes you uncomfortable, tell me, okay? I blinked, wrote slowly, why? Because you're part of the pack now. He said it like it was simple, like it was true, even if it's just for 2 weeks. Something cracked in my chest. I wrote, thank you. He squeezed my shoulder once gently and left. I stared at the ruined files, at my coffee-stained hands. 2 weeks, I reminded myself. Just 2 weeks and you'll never see them again. The lie tasted worse than the first one. I forced myself to breathe, to focus on the coffee-stained papers instead of the warmth still lingering on my shoulder where Taehyun had touched me. Get it together. I salvaged what I could, retyping the ruined pages with fingers that wanted to shake but didn't. Muscle memory took over. The same hands that had field-stripped a rifle in 40 seconds now flew across the keyboard at 90 words per minute. By 2:47 p.m., I had everything printed, collated, and bound in a leather folder that screamed, I'm competent, please don't fire me. Ji-won's office door was closed. I knocked softly. Enter. He sat behind a desk made of black walnut and what looked like barely concealed violence. Reading glasses perched on his nose. He didn't look up. I placed the folder in front of him, stepped back, waited. He flipped it open. Scanned the first page, then the second. His eyebrow twitched. You reorganized the filing system. I nodded. I didn't ask you to reorganize. I asked you to compile. I pulled out my notepad. The original system was inefficient. This way shows patterns, security risks, anomalies. His eyes lifted from the page, met mine. What anomalies? I flipped to the summary sheet I'd added, pointed to 3 highlighted incidents. September, camera malfunction during executive meeting. October, unscheduled maintenance worker accessed server room. December, food delivery to CFO Choi contained allergen he's listed as severely allergic to. Jiwon went very still. How do you know Sungjin's allergies? Employee medical files. Cross-referenced when I noticed the shellfish in the order receipt. Those files are password protected. I smiled, wrote, your password is your company founding date plus your birthday backwards. You should change it. For a long moment, he just stared at me. Then he closed the folder, removed his glasses, rubbed the bridge of his nose. Are you a corporate spy, Yuri? No, sir. Then what are you? Someone who pays attention. That's not an answer. I met his gaze steadily, wrote, it's the only one I have. The silence stretched. My precognition hummed softly, showing me nothing but static. He was deciding something, weighing options, calculating risk. Finally, you're either brilliant or dangerous. Can't I be both? His lips twitched. Almost a smile. Get out of my office. I bowed, turned to leave. Yuri. I looked back. Good work. Something warm and dangerous bloomed in my chest. I crushed it, nodded, left before I could do something stupid like care. The hallway was empty. I leaned against the wall, exhaling slowly. 2 weeks. Paycheck. Gone. My phone buzzed. Hospital. Hajun stable. Treatment extended 2 months. New estimate. 47 million won. 47 million won. I closed my eyes. Did the math. Even with this job's insane salary, I'd need 4 months minimum to cover it. I don't have 4 months. Not here. Not this close to them. Every second in this building was borrowed time before someone recognized the way I moved, or the scars I couldn't fully hide, or the fact that their helpless Omega assistant had the muscle memory of a trained killer. A crash echoed from down the hall. My body reacted before my brain caught up. I was moving, precognition flaring hot and bright. Sungjin's office. Broken glass. Blood. I hit the door at a run. It was locked. Of course it's locked. I dropped to one knee, pulling a paperclip from my pocket. 5 seconds. The lock clicked. Sungjin was on the floor, convulsing. Foam at his lips. His skin gray. Anaphylaxis. The coffee cup on his desk was shattered. Almond milk splatter on the wall. Someone had switched his regular order. I didn't think, just moved. Grabbed his chin, tilted his head back to clear the airway. My precognition showed me 15 seconds until his throat closed completely, 30 until brain damage, 90 until death. Where's his EpiPen? I yanked open his desk drawer. Files, pens, business cards. Come on, come on, come on. There, red medical case. I jammed the auto-injector into his thigh, held it, counted to 3, pulled it out. His back arched, a gasping, horrible wheeze as his lungs remembered how to work. I rolled him onto his side, recovery position, checked his pulse, fast but steady. The door slammed open. Minho filled the doorway, gun drawn. What the hell did you do? I held up the empty EpiPen, pointed to the coffee cup. His face went white. Jiwon, Taehyun, get in here. Footsteps thundered. Suddenly, the small office was full of alphas and panicking energy, and Sungjin trying to breathe through a throat that still wanted to kill him. Ambulance is 3 minutes out, Taehyun said, phone pressed to his ear. His eyes found mine. What happened? I grabbed my notepad with shaking hands. Allergic reaction. Almond milk in his coffee. Someone switched his order. Someone. Jiwon's voice was ice. He looked at the broken cup, at Sungjin, at me. You just happened to be here. I heard the crash. His door was locked. I picked it. You picked a reinforced security lock in under 10 seconds. I stared at him, at the gun still in Minho's hand, at Taehyun's confused expression. I'm good with my hands, I wrote. And he was dying. Did you want me to wait for permission? How did you know it was anaphylaxis? Minho demanded. Gray skin, foam, throat swelling. It wasn't exactly subtle. Where did you learn emergency medical response? YouTube. Bullshit, Ji-won said flatly. I stood, met his eyes, wrote very carefully. I saved his life. You're welcome. Seungjin coughed, reached up blindly. His hand caught my wrist. His grip was weak but desperate. Thank you, he rasped. Thank you. Something in my chest cracked wider. Don't, I thought. Don't thank me. Don't look at me like that. Don't make this harder than it already is. I squeezed his hand once, let go, stepped back. The paramedics arrived, organized chaos. Questions I answered with my notepad while 3 alphas watched me like I was a bomb that might explode. After they took Seungjin away, after the police came and went, after the coffee cup was bagged as evidence, I stood alone in my tiny office. My hands were steady. They always were in a crisis. It was only after that they shook. Ji-won appeared in my doorway, silent, watching. I didn't look up, just kept my eyes on my hands. Who are you, really? He asked quietly. Nobody, I wanted to write. A ghost, a debt you don't remember owing. Instead, someone who got lucky. That wasn't luck. He stepped inside, closed the door. That was training, battlefield training. My precognition flared, showed me his hand on my shoulder, turning me around, seeing the scar on my collarbone that matched the shrapnel pattern from Gwangju. I stood abruptly, bowed, wrote, I should go. Hospital visiting hours. Yuri. I didn't stop. Grabbed my bag, moved past him. His hand caught my elbow, gentle but firm. Stay, he said. It wasn't quite a command. Please. The please broke something in me. I turned, looked up at him, at eyes that had been closed when I'd carried him, at a face I'd only seen, unconscious and covered in soot. I can't, I thought, but I wrote, okay. His thumb brushed my pulse point, once, almost absent. Your heart is racing, he murmured, because you're touching me, because 6 years ago I thought you were dead, because this is so much more dangerous than bullets. I pulled my arm back slowly, wrote, long day. Yeah, he stepped back, ran a hand through his hair. Get some rest. Tomorrow we're figuring out who tried to kill Seungjin. We? You think I'm letting you out of my sight after this? His smile was sharp. You just became our most valuable asset, Han Yuri. Or your biggest liability, I thought. But I just nodded and tried not to notice how right his hand had felt on my skin. I walked past him toward the door, but my precognition hit like a sledgehammer. Conference room, 10 minutes from now, all 4 alphas, security footage on the screen, my face, frame by frame analysis of how I moved. I stopped, turned, back. Ji-won was watching me with that calculating expression that probably made corporate rivals wet themselves. I pulled out my notepad. If we're investigating, I need access to security feeds, personnel files, building entry logs for the past 3 months. That's classified information. Someone just tried to murder your CFO with a coffee order. How classified do you want his funeral to be? His jaw ticked. You're annoying. I'm efficient. There's a difference. Minho handles security. Minho didn't notice the pattern in your incident reports. I did. We stared at each other. Some kind of silent battle of wills that I was definitely losing because my wolf kept trying to bare its throat at his alpha presence. Down, I told it viciously. Fine, Ji-won said. But you work under supervision. Minho's supervision. Perfect. He already thinks I'm suspicious. This won't be awkward at all. I wrote, thank you. Don't thank me yet. He opened the door. Conference room, now. Bring your attitude. My attitude is the only thing keeping me employed. His laugh surprised both of us. Short, sharp, almost genuine. Yeah, he muttered, it really is. The conference room smelled like tension and expensive air freshener. Minho stood by the screens, arms crossed. Taehyun sprawled in a chair, bouncing his leg. The nervous energy radiating off him made my teeth ache. Seungjin's stable, Tae-hyun said immediately. Hospital's keeping him overnight. He's pissed he's missing this. He should be pissed someone tried to kill him, Minho growled. He pointed a remote at the screen. Security footage appeared. The lobby. Timestamp, 8:47 a.m. Coffee delivery? Standard service we use every morning. Same driver we've had for 2 years. I leaned forward, watching. The driver handed off 4 cups to the receptionist. She brought them up, placed them on the break room counter. Normal, routine. Except, Minho continued, clicking forward, at 9:23 someone swapped Seungjin's cup. The footage showed a figure in maintenance coveralls, face hidden by a cap, gloved hands switching 2 identical cups. There. My precognition pulsed. Watch the hands. I grabbed the remote from Minho, rewound, paused. Hey, Minho started. I pointed at the screen, at the way the figure moved, the slight limp in their left leg. Wrote quickly, injury, recent, favoring the left side. See the hesitation before bending? Jiwon leaned in. You got all that from 3 seconds of footage? You see it when you know what to look for. And you know what to look for because I pay attention. I forwarded the footage. There. Wrist. Tattoo edge visible under the glove. Tae-hyun whistled. Damn, I didn't catch that. Neither did our security team, Minho said quietly. Too quietly. He was looking at me like I was an equation that didn't add up. What else do you see? I studied the screen. Let my precognition flow. Height, approximately 178 centimeters. Weight, 70 kilograms. Right-handed but using left hand primarily. Deliberate misdirection. Professional. I wrote, hired professional, not staff. Check maintenance schedules. This person wasn't supposed to be here. Minho pulled out his tablet, typed. His face went dark. Maintenance was scheduled for Building C today, not this tower. Inside job, Jiwon said flatly, or someone with access to your scheduling system. Which brings us back to inside job. Tae-hyun stood, pacing. Who wants Seungjin dead? I pulled up my notes from earlier, the pattern I'd mapped. Wrote, wrong question. Who benefits from destabilizing your company? Competitors, rivals? Take your pick. Minho gestured broadly. We're in commercial real estate development. Half of Busan wants us gone. But only one person has tried 3 times in 4 months. Silence. 3 times? Jiwon's voice dropped to something dangerous. I laid out my analysis. September's camera malfunction during a meeting about a waterfront development deal. October's server breach the day before a major bid submission. December's assassination attempt. All connected to the Hyundai project, I wrote. Who loses if that deal goes through? Tae-hyun stopped pacing. Im Do-yun. The name hit me like ice water. No. No, 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 no. My hands clenched. Precognition exploded behind my eyes. Im Do-yun. The man who'd orchestrated all 4 attacks. The man who'd put silver in Tae-hyun's grenade. Who'd set the fire in Gwangju. Who'd ordered the ambush in Daegu. Who'd cut the ice on the river in Sokcho. The man who'd been hunting me for 6 years because I'd ruined his perfect kills. Yuri? Tae-hyun's hand on my shoulder. You okay? You went pale. I forced myself to breathe. Wrote with shaking hands. Do-yun? Real estate developer? Yeah, cutthroat bastard. Plays dirty. Jiwon's eyes narrowed. You know him? I know of him. The lie came easily. Read about him. Business news. He's got alibis for all 3 incidents, Minho said. We already looked into him. Alibis can be bought. So can maintenance uniforms and building access codes. Jiwon pulled out his phone. I'm calling our lawyer. We need to move on this carefully. My precognition flared again. Sharper, clearer. Do-yun knows I'm here. He saw me on the security feed. He's coming. I stood abruptly, walked to the window, looked down at the street 43 floors below. There, black sedan, tinted windows, parked illegally across from the main entrance. Same car from my vision this morning. I turned back, wrote fast, we need to leave. Now. What? Why? Tae-hyun moved beside me. Trust me. That's not an answer, Minho said. I grabbed Jiwon's arm, looked him dead in the eye. Let him see whatever desperation was leaking through my carefully blank expression. Please. His hand covered mine. Everyone out. Service exit. Now. Jiwan, we can't just... Minho started. I said now. We moved. Fast. Professional. They'd done this before. I followed, my precognition screaming. 30 seconds until the lobby explosion. 20. We hit the stairwell. Started down. 10. The building shook. Alarms shrieked. Emergency lighting kicked on, bathing everything in red. What the hell? Taehyun grabbed the railing. Minho's gun was already out. Lobby level, explosive device. They all looked at me. How did you know? Ji-won asked. I couldn't answer. Couldn't write. Could barely breathe through the memories flooding back. Incheon. The grenade. Taehyun's body hitting the ground. My throat tearing open as I screamed. Strong hands gripped my shoulders. Ji-won, steady, solid. Breathe, he commanded. In. Out. Focus on me. I did. His eyes, dark, concerned. Alive. You're alive. They're all alive. That's what matters. My hands stopped shaking. I pulled out my notepad, wrote, lucky guess. Try again, Minho said coldly. Saw the car, recognized the setup, used to live in a bad neighborhood. Which neighborhood has fucking car bombs? Taehyun demanded. The kind you don't ask questions about if you want to survive. Jawan's thumb traced my jawline. Gentle. Too gentle. Who are you running from, Yuri? Everyone, I thought. And now they found me anyway. I wrote, can we run first? Interrogate later? Smart, Minho muttered. Move. Underground garage. We've got a secure vehicle. We ran, and I tried not to think about how Im Doyun had just declared war, or how I was the only one who knew this had never been about business. It had always been about finishing what he started, killing the silent blade, and everyone stupid enough to be near me when he tried. The underground garage smelled like concrete and motor oil. Our footsteps echoed off bare walls as we sprinted toward a matte black SUV that screamed armored and expensive. Minho hit the key fob. Doors unlocked with a heavy thunk. In! Now! He yanked the driver's door open. Taehyun pulled me toward the back seat. His hand was warm, steady. Mine was trembling. Get it together. You've survived worse. I climbed in. Ji-won slid in beside me. Taehyun took the passenger seat. The doors slammed shut with the solid sound of reinforced steel. Minho peeled out before I'd even buckled my seatbelt. The garage ramp spiraled upward. My precognition buzzed softly. Nothing immediate. Just the constant low-grade warning that danger was close. Always close. We burst onto the street. Afternoon sunlight after the red emergency lights felt wrong. Too bright. Too normal. People were running from the building, but no one looked hurt. Lobby level, I thought. He wanted to trap us, not kill bystanders. Everyone okay? Minho's eyes flicked to the rearview mirror, a chorus of affirmatives, except me. I just nodded. Where are we going? Taehyun asked. Safe house, Gwangali Beach. Ji-won pulled out his phone, started typing. Seongjin's security detail is moving him there from the hospital. We regroup, figure out what the hell is happening. You're being hunted, I wanted to say, by a man who doesn't leave loose ends, by someone who's been trying to kill you for years, and I'm the reason he keeps failing. Instead, I stared out the window, watched Busan blur past. My phone buzzed. Hospital. Security incident reported at facility. Hajun moved to undisclosed location for safety. Will contact when secure. My stomach dropped. No. I must have made a sound because Ji-won's hand landed on my knee. What's wrong? I showed him the message. His expression darkened. Your brother. I nodded. Wrote quickly. They moved him. Someone threatened the hospital. Doyun's covering his bases, Minho said grimly. Trying to leverage you. Why would he leverage me? I'm nobody. The question sat unspoken in my notepad. You're the one who figured out his pattern, Taehyun said, turning in his seat. You connected the dots. Maybe he thinks you know more. I know everything, I thought. I know he's the one who's been trying to kill you. I know he hired the rogues, set the fires, sabotaged the river ice. I know because I was there every single time. I wrote, "My brother has nothing to do with this." "Doesn't matter." G1 squeezed my knee once. Reassuring. Dangerous. "We'll protect him. And you. You can't protect me from myself." But I nodded. Let them think I was just a scared Omega with a sick brother. Better than the truth. The safe house was sleek, modern, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the beach. Sunset painted the water golden pink, too beautiful for what was coming. Minho checked every room with military precision. Taehyun locked down the security system. Ji-won made calls, his voice low and commanding. I stood by the window, watching the waves, trying to center myself. My reflection stared back. 22, baby-faced, tired eyes. The high collar of my shirt hiding the scar that had stolen my voice. 6 years, I thought. 6 years of running. And I walked right back into the fire. "Yuri!" I turned. Seungjin stood in the doorway, hospital bracelet still on his wrist. He looked pale, shaky, alive. Relief hit me so hard I almost staggered. He crossed the room, pulled me into a hug. I froze, every instinct screaming danger, touch, too close. But his arms were gentle, grateful. "Thank you," he whispered into my hair. "The doctors said 5 more minutes and I'd have been brain dead." I patted his back awkwardly, stepped away when he released me, wrote, "Anyone would have done the same." "No." His hand cupped my face, thumb brushing my cheekbone. "They wouldn't. You picked a lock, administered emergency medicine, saved my life. That's not anyone. That's you." "Don't," I thought desperately. "Don't look at me like that. Don't make me matter." "Seungjin," Jiwon's voice cut through the moment. "Medical cleared you?" "Against their advice." Seungjin smiled tiredly. "But someone's trying to kill us. Figured I should be here." "You should be resting," Taehyun argued. "I'll rest when we're not being bombed." Seungjin moved to the couch, sat carefully. "Catch me up." They did. The maintenance worker, the pattern, Im Doyeon, the car bomb. And through it all, I felt Minho watching me. When they finished, he spoke. "We're missing something." His eyes locked on mine. "Doyeon's a businessman. Ruthless, yeah. But car bombs? Assassination attempts? That's not his style. It is when he's tying up loose ends. Unless," Minho continued slowly, "he's not after the company. He's after something else." The room went quiet. "What do you mean?" Ji-won asked. Minho stood, walked toward me, predator circling prey. 4 incidents, 4 targets. But the pattern isn't business deals. He stopped in front of me. The pattern is personal. Each attack targeted one of us specifically. Ji-won in Gwangju, me in Daegu, Seungjin in Sokcho, Taehyun in Incheon. "Don't say it. Please don't say it." "And in each case," Minho said quietly, "someone saved us. Someone we never found. Someone called the Silent Blade." My heart stopped. Taehyun sucked in a breath. "Holy shit." "Doyeon's not after the company," Minho said. "He's after the person who ruined his kills." Ji-won stood slowly, looking at me, really looking. The lock-picking, the medical training, the way you move, the tactical awareness. His voice was soft, dangerous. "You knew about the bomb before it went off." "Run," my instinct screamed. "Run now." But my feet stayed planted. "Show us your wrists," Minho commanded. "No." I shook my head, stepped back. "Yuri." Ji-won moved closer, gentle, inexorable. "Please." "I can't. If you see the scars, you'll know. And if you know, you'll either use me or reject me, and I don't know which would hurt more." Seungjin stood, crossed to me, took my hand. His touch was warm, kind. "It's okay," he said softly. "Whatever you're hiding, we're not going to hurt you." "Yes, you will, just not the way you think." But I let him push up my sleeve. The scar tissue was ugly, precise, self-inflicted burns across my forearms from when I destroyed my scent glands at 17. Desperate attempt to stay hidden. "Jesus," Taehyun breathed. Seungjin's fingers traced the marks. "You did this to yourself." I nodded, pulled my arm back, wrote with shaking hands. "Had to hide. People were looking for me. Who? Jiwan demanded. Everyone. Why? I looked at each of them, at the faces I'd memorized in crisis, at the men I'd bled for. Because I saved you, I wanted to say. Because I'm the reason you're alive. And Mdoyan knows it, and he won't stop until I'm dead. Instead, long story. We've got time, Minho said flatly. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I opened it. A photo. Hajun, unconscious, tied to a chair, and a message. Trade. You for the boy. Guangali Beach Park. 1 hour. Come alone or he dies. The phone slipped from my fingers. Jiwan caught it, read the message. His face went white with rage. No! His hand gripped my shoulder. Absolutely not. I grabbed my notepad. He's my brother. It's a trap. I know. Then you know you'll die. I met his eyes, wrote carefully. Better me than him. Like hell, Taehyun snarled. Seungjin's hand found mine. We'll get him back. Together. You don't understand. This isn't about Ha-jun. It's about me. It's always been about me. I pulled away, headed for the door. Minho blocked it. Where do you think you're going? I wrote. To save my brother. By sacrificing yourself? No. Move. Make me. My precognition flared. Showed me 3 different ways to drop him in under 5 seconds. I must have shifted my weight because his eyes widened. You could, couldn't you? He said quietly. Take me down. Get past us. Disappear. I could. I absolutely could. But I wrote, please. He's all I have. That's where you're wrong. Jiwan's voice, soft, final. You have us. I turned. They were all standing, united, determined. So here's what's going to happen, Jiwan continued. We're going to that meeting, all of us. We're getting your brother back. And then you're going to tell us the whole truth. And if the truth makes you hate me, he smiled, sharp, possessive. Try us. His words hung in the air between us. Try us. I wanted to laugh, or scream, or both. Instead, I pulled out my notepad. You don't know what you're asking. Then explain it. Jiwan stepped closer, close enough that I could smell his scent beneath the blockers, cedar and smoke. The same scent I'd carried on my fur for days after pulling him from that fire. Make us understand. Where do I even start? I looked at each of them. Seungjin, still pale from nearly dying. Minho, hand resting on his concealed weapon. Taehyun, vibrating with barely contained energy. Jiwan, steady as stone. My precognition pulsed, showed me 53 minutes until Doyen's deadline. I wrote, fine, but we talk while we move. My brother doesn't have time for therapy sessions. Deal. Minho pulled out a tactical vest, tossed it to me. Wear this. I caught it one-handed, stared at the Kevlar. You want me armed? I want you alive, he said simply. Something tells me you know how to use it. You have no idea. I stripped off my button-down, shirt without thinking, pulled the vest on over my undershirt. The room went silent. Oh, right. Scars. My torso was a roadmap of violence. Bullet wounds, knife marks, the distinctive pattern of shrapnel across my left ribs. Burns on my shoulder blades from silver-laced chains. Holy fuck, Taehyun breathed. I didn't look at them, just adjusted the vest straps, reached for my shirt. Jiwan's hand caught my wrist, gentle. His fingers traced the shrapnel scars. Incheon, he said quietly. The grenade. You were there. Not a question. I nodded. His hand moved to the burn on my shoulder. Gwangju. Another nod. Seungjin touched the knife scar on my lower back. Saksho, when you pulled me from the river. And these. Minho indicated the bullet wounds. 3 neat circles on my right side. Daegu, you took fire meant for me. I pulled away, grabbed my shirt, wrote quickly, Ancient history. Can we focus on saving Hajun before you all have matching scars? How old were you? Jiwan demanded. In Gwangju. How old? I hesitated. 17. 17, his voice cracked. You were a kid. I was trained. There's a difference. Trained by who? Minho asked. People who don't exist anymore. That's not an answer. It's the only one you're getting. I buttoned my shirt, checked my phone. 49 minutes. We need a plan, Shungjin said, pulling their attention away from me. Bless him. Doyen's not stupid. He'll have backup. Snipers, escape routes. The park has 3 main entrances, Minho said, pulling up a map on his tablet. Beachfront, parking lot, and pier access. I looked at the screen. My precognition flared, showing me the layout in perfect clarity. There. I pointed to the amphitheater near the water. He'll want open space. Nowhere to hide. Easy sightlines. How do you know? Taehyun asked. Because it's where I'd set up. I wrote, he wants me. Not you, so I'll give him what he wants. Absolutely not, all 4 of them said simultaneously. I would have smiled if the situation wasn't so dire. I walk in, keep him talking. You position around the perimeter. I drew quick marks on the map. Sniper here, close support here and here, extract team at the pier. Minho studied my tactical layout. That's actually solid. I've done this before. Clearly. Jiwon grabbed a comm unit, tossed it to me. Earpiece, you don't go silent on us. I caught it, raised an eyebrow. Wrote, I'm always silent. It's kind of my thing. Smart ass, Taehyun muttered, but he was smiling. We moved. The drive to Gwangali took 12 minutes. Minho drove like he was trying to break the sound barrier. I spent the time checking the handgun Jiwon had wordlessly pressed into my palm. Glock 19, 15 rounds, familiar weight. How many times have I held a gun for them? I thought. How many times have I killed to keep them? Breathing? I didn't let myself count. Yuri, Shungjin's voice soft from the seat beside me. After this, after we get Hajun, you'll stay, right? I looked at him, at earnest eyes behind smudged glasses. I can't. If I stay, Doyen will keep coming, and eventually he'll win. But I wrote, we'll see. That's not a yes. It's not a no either. I'll take it. His hand found mine, squeezed. You're packed now, whether you want to be or not. Pack. The word hurt, sweet and sharp. I'd never had a pack. Never let myself want one. Wanting things got people killed. The beach park was beautiful in the dying light. Families packing up, joggers finishing their routes, normal people living normal lives. We parked 3 blocks away. Positions, Minho said into his comm. Yuri goes in 5 minutes. Nobody moves until my signal. I checked my phone. Unknown number again. Amphitheater. Come alone. No tricks. I showed them. He's watching, Jiwon said grimly. Probably has eyes on all the entrances. Then I'll give him a show. I opened the door. 4 hands grabbed me simultaneously. Wait, Taehyun. His voice was rough. Just wait. I turned, looked at all of them. If this goes wrong, he continued, if something happens to you, it won't. But if it does, Jiwon's hand cupped my face, thumb brushing my cheek. Know that we're coming for you, whatever it takes. My throat tightened, the phantom ache of my missing voice. You shouldn't, I thought. I'm not worth it. But I nodded. Shungjin leaned forward, pressed his forehead to mine. Be safe. Minho grabbed my shoulder. You get in trouble, you run. Don't be a hero. Too late for that. I wrote, 5 minutes, then come get my brother. I stepped out before they could argue. The walk to the amphitheater felt like miles. My precognition buzzed steadily. Danger, close, imminent. I know, I told it. I'm walking into it on purpose. Try to keep up. The amphitheater was empty. Concrete steps descending to a central stage. The ocean crashed behind it. Hajun sat center stage, bound, gagged, awake. His eyes went wide when he saw me. I'm sorry, I thought. I'm so sorry I dragged you into this. Han Yuri. The voice came from everywhere. Speakers hidden in the structure. The silent blade. Finally. I stopped 10 feet from the stage, raised my hands, showed I was unarmed. Liar, my gun whispered from the small of my back. 6 years, Doyen continued. 6 years I've hunted you. Did you know you cost me over 50 million won in failed contracts? I tilted my head, shrugged. Not sorry. A laugh, cold. No, I suppose you're not. Tell me, does it bother you? All those men you killed? I pulled out my notepad, held it up. Only that I missed you. Ah, there's that fire. Movement. Doyen stepped from the shadows behind the stage. Expensive suit. Cold smile. Gun pointed at Hajun's head. I almost admire you. Almost. I wrote, let him go. You wanted me. Here I am. True, but what guarantees you won't run the moment he's free? I give you my word. The word of an assassin. How reassuring. He pressed the gun to Hajun's temple. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to walk to me, slowly, hands visible, and then you're going to kneel. And if I don't, then your brother's brain decorates this stage. Hajun made a muffled sound, terrified, begging with his eyes. I'm sorry, I mouthed to him. I started walking. That's it. Closer. Doyun's smile widened. Do you know what they'll pay for the corpse of the silent blade? Every crime family you've crossed wants proof you're dead. I reached the stage, climbed the steps, 3 feet away. Kneel. I met his eyes. Let him see everything I'd hidden for 6 years. The killer, the weapon, the ghost. Then I smiled and tapped my comm unit 3 times. Doyen's expression shifted. What did you... The gunshot took him in the shoulder. Minho's work. Precise. Disabling. Doyen stumbled. His gun swung toward Hajun. I moved. My precognition had shown me this exact moment. I grabbed Doyen's wrist, twisted. The gun clattered away. My other hand drove into his solar plexus. Hard, professional. He doubled over. I swept his legs, followed him down, knee on his spine. I told you I was trained. Footsteps thundered. Jiwon, Taehyun, and Shungjin rushing in. Minho descended from his sniper position on the upper level. Clear, Minho called. Jiwon reached Hajun, cut his bonds. My brother collapsed into his arms, sobbing. I held Doyen down until Minho cuffed him. It's over, Minho said quietly. To me, to Doyen, to everyone. I stood, looked at Doyen, pulled out my notepad one last time. You lose. His laugh was bitter. You think this ends with me? There are others. There will always be others. You can't protect them forever, Blade. Watch me. Taehyun's hand landed on my shoulder. Police are 3 minutes out. Let's get Hajun to the hospital. I nodded, started to turn. My precognition screamed. Second gun, ankle holster, aimed at Jiwon. I didn't think, just moved. Threw myself between them as Doyen fired. The bullet hit my vest. Kevlar stopped the round, but the impact cracked ribs. Pain exploded. I went down hard. Yuri! Hands everywhere, lifting me. Jiwon's face above mine. Terrified, I tried to smile. I'm okay, I wanted to say, just bruised. But darkness pulled at the edges of my vision. The last thing I saw was Jiwon's eyes. At least you're alive, I thought. Worth it. Then nothing. Pain dragged me back. Sharp, radiating from my ribs with every shallow breath. I surfaced slowly, awareness returning in fragments. Soft sheets, clean smell, beeping monitors, hospital. I tried to sit up. My body screamed in protest. Don't. A hand pressed gently on my shoulder. Shungjin, you cracked 3 ribs and have a spectacular bruise. Stay down. I blinked at him, tried to speak. Nothing came out except a wheeze. Right. Still mute. Some things even near-death experiences can't fix. He held up my notepad and pen. I grabbed them gratefully. Hajun? Safe, down the hall, dehydrated and traumatized but alive. Shungjin's smile was soft. Thanks to you. Doyen. Police custody. Multiple charges. He's done. Shungjin's hand found mine. You saved Jiwon, again. Habit. A habit that nearly got you killed. But it didn't. I squeezed his fingers. I'm fine. You threw yourself in front of a bullet and call that fine? A new voice. Jiwon stood in the doorway, looking like he hadn't slept in days. His shirt was wrinkled, hair disheveled, eyes redrimmed. He looked beautiful. Oh no, I thought. When did that happen? I'll give you two some privacy, Shungjin said, standing. He squeezed my shoulder once, left. Jiwon closed the door, stood there, just looking at me. The silence stretched. I wrote, "Are you going to yell?" because my ribs really can't handle yelling right now. I'm not going to yell. He crossed to the bed, sat on the edge. I'm trying to figure out if I want to kiss you or strangle you. Strangling seems counterproductive after I just survived. You shouldn't have survived. His voice cracked. The angle, the distance. You had point 0.3 seconds to react. Nobody's that fast. I told you, I'm trained. Trained. He laughed, harsh. You're a fucking ghost, Yuri. A 22-year-old Omega who's been fighting our battles since you were 17. Who are you really? I looked at him, at the desperation in his eyes. The need to understand. I'm nobody, just someone who didn't want you to die. Why? His hand cupped my face. Why save us? Over and over. Why sacrifice everything? Because you mattered, I thought. Because in every vision, every precognition of your death, I saw a future where the world was darker, where people who needed you were lost. But I couldn't write that. Too honest. Too raw. So I wrote. Because I could. Because someone had to. That's not an answer. It's the truth. He stared at me. Then slowly, carefully, he leaned down. His forehead touched mine. Thank you, he whispered, for my life, for saving us, for being here. My breath caught. His scent wrapped around me. Cedar and smoke, and something uniquely him. Yuri, my name in his voice. Reverent. May I kiss you? Yes, every cell in my body screamed. Yes, yes, yes. But I hesitated. Wrote, you don't owe me anything. This isn't about debt. His thumb brushed my lips. This is about wanting you. Every infuriating, heroic, mysterious part of you. I dropped the notepad, nodded. His lips met mine. Soft, careful of my injuries. Sweet in a way that made my chest ache worse than the broken ribs. I kissed him back. Let myself have this one perfect moment. When he pulled away, his smile was devastating. I've wanted to do that since you wrote I've met worse on your first day. Took you long enough. I'm a slow learner. He kissed my forehead. Rest. The others want to see you, but I told them to wait. Protective much? You scared the hell out of me. I'm allowed to be protective. The door burst open. So much for waiting. Taehyun rushed in, followed by Minho. Both looked like they'd run here. He's awake, Taehyun grinned, and writing sarcastic notes. Definitely fine. I never stopped being sarcastic, even unconscious. Minho shook his head. Only you would take a bullet and make jokes about it. Technically, the vest took the bullet. I just absorbed the kinetic energy. Smart ass. But Minho's relief was visible. We found something in Doyen's files. About you? My blood went cold. What? He had a whole dossier. Photos. Mission reports. He's been tracking you for years. Minho pulled out his tablet. There's a contract. Open bounty. 300 million won for your capture. Alive or dead? Preferably alive. They want to interrogate you. Find out who trained you. I looked away. They'll be disappointed. Everyone who trained me is dead. How? Jiwon asked quietly. I made sure of it. The room went silent. You killed your own trainers. Taehyun's voice was neutral. Not judging, just clarifying. They weren't the good guys. Neither was I. Past tense, Shungjin said from the doorway. I hadn't heard him return. You said was. You're not that person anymore. How do you know? Because that person wouldn't have saved us, wouldn't have risked everything for strangers. He came to the bed. That person would have taken the contract money and disappeared. Maybe I'm just bad at being an assassin. Or maybe, Jiwon said softly, you were never meant to be one. I wanted to believe that. Wanted to believe I was more than a weapon someone had sharpened and aimed. But wanting didn't change facts. I wrote, the bounty won't disappear. Others will come. Let them, Minho said flatly. We'll handle it. You can't fight the entire underworld. Watch us. Taehyun sat on the other side of the bed. You're Pac. We protect our own. I'm not Pac. I'm your employee. Bullshit. Jawan's hand found mine. You're Pac. You've been Pac since Gwangju. We just didn't know it yet. Something in my chest cracked. The wall I'd built, the distance I'd maintained. If I stay, I'm a target. You'll be targets by association. We're already targets, Shungjin pointed out. May as well have the best protection around. Flattery. Won't work. It's not flattery, it's fact. Minho leaned against the wall. Doyen talked. Plea bargain. He gave up names, organizations. You've destroyed 3 major crime syndicates in 6 years. You're a legend. I'm a liability. You're ours. Jiwon's voice was final. If you want to be. I looked at each of them, at the faces I'd memorized in crisis, at the men I'd bled for, at a future I'd never let myself imagine. What about Hajun? He stays too. Full medical coverage, protection, university tuition if he wants. Jiwon smiled. Non-negotiable. You can't just, I'm a billionaire CEO with government connections and a private security force. I absolutely can. That's not fair. Life's not fair. You taught us that. Taehyun grinned. So? What do you say, Silent Blade? Ready to come in from the cold? My hands shook as I wrote. What if I don't know how to be anything except a weapon? Then we'll teach you. Seungjin's hand covered mine. One day at a time. I looked at the words on my notepad, at the pen trembling in my grip, at 4 alphas looking at me like I was worth saving. Okay, I wrote. I'll stay. The room erupted. Taehyun whooped. Minho actually smiled. Seungjin hugged me carefully, and Jiwon kissed me again. Deeper this time. A promise. When he pulled back, his eyes were soft. Welcome home, Yuri. Home. The word felt foreign, beautiful, terrifying. One condition, I wrote quickly. No more secrets. Full honesty. From all of us. Deal, they said in unison. Then I should tell you something. I pulled down my collar, showed them the scar across my throat. Silver blade. 6 years ago. Incheon. When I saved Taehyun. Taehyun's face went white. You lost your voice for me. I lost my voice to save you. Different. Yuri, I wrote quickly. Don't apologize. Don't feel guilty. I made the choice. I'd make it again. But your voice, he whispered. I touched my throat, the scar tissue that had defined me for so long. Then something happened. A tingle, deep in my throat, like static electricity. My precognition flared, showed me something impossible. Healing. Pack bonds accelerating regeneration. Damaged tissue responding to alpha pheromones. I gasped. The first sound I'd made in 6 years. Everyone froze. Yuri? Jiwon's hand on my shoulder. What's wrong? I touched my throat. The scar felt warm, almost burning, and when I opened my mouth, a sound came out. Broken, raspy, barely audible, but a sound. Home, I whispered. Silence. Absolute silence. Then Taehyun was crying. Seungjin's hand flew to his mouth. Minho looked stunned, and Jiwon pulled me close. Gentle, reverent. Say it again, he breathed. Home, I repeated. Stronger this time. My voice rough like gravel, but mine. I'm home. The word hung in the air. Home. Rough and broken, but real. Taehyun made a sound between a laugh and a sob. You can speak. Barely, I rasped. Each word felt like sandpaper. Sounds like I gargled glass. You sound perfect, Seungjin said, voice thick with emotion. Liar. But I smiled. Actually smiled. I sound like a dying cat. Minho laughed, sharp and surprised. A sarcastic dying cat. The best kind. Speaking hurt. But God, it felt good. 6 years of silence breaking apart with every syllable. Jiwon's thumb traced my jaw. How is this possible? Pack bonds, I whispered. Alpha pheromones. Accelerate healing. Never had a pack before. My body's responding. So the more time you spend with us, Seungjin's eyes were bright. The more I heal. Maybe. I touched my throat. The scar was warm, alive. Or maybe just temporary. Then we make it permanent. Jiwon's hand covered mine. You stay. With us. Let us help you. Heal. Stay. The word carried weight. Promise. Future. What if... I paused. Breathing hurt. Speaking hurt more. But I needed to say this. What if I don't know how to be normal? Normal is overrated, Taehyun said. He sat on the bed edge, careful of my ribs. Be you. Sarcastic. Deadly. Ours. Ours. Something in my chest tightened. Sweet. Terrifying. I need to see Hajun. I tried to sit up. Pain lanced through me. Need to know. He's okay. He's down the hall, Minho said. But you're not moving until the doctor clears you. Watch me. I swung my legs over the bed edge. The room tilted. 4 pairs of hands caught me. Stubborn, Jiwon muttered. Pot. Kettle. I gripped his arm, steadied myself. I've had worse, just bruised. 3 broken ribs is not just bruised, Shungjin argued. Fine, slightly more than bruised. I took a step. My ribs screamed. I ignored them. Where's my brother? Room 304, Minho said. But if you collapse, I'm carrying you back. Deal. I took another step. Better. Lead the way. They hovered, all 4 of them, like I was glass about to shatter. It should have been annoying. Instead, it was nice. Being cared for. Protected. Don't get used to it, I warned myself. This is temporary. Everything is temporary. But my heart wasn't listening. Room 304 was quiet. Hajun lay in bed, eyes closed, IV in his arm, bruises on his wrist from the ropes. My baby brother, 20 years old, brilliant, kind, innocent, everything I wasn't. His eyes opened as I approached, widened. Yuri, his voice cracked. You're okay. More or less. I sat in the chair beside his bed, winced. You're speaking. Tears streamed down his face. Your voice. I thought I'd never hear it again. Surprise. I took his hand. I'm sorry for all of this, for dragging you into my mess. Your mess? He squeezed my fingers. You saved those men. You're a hero. I'm a killer. The words tasted like ash. Don't romanticize it. You protected people. There's a difference. Hajun looked past me, at the 4 alphas crowding the doorway. Are those the idiots I saved? Yes. I glanced back. They're persistent. We prefer determined, Taehyun said. Hajun's eyes went wide. You're Kang Jiwon, the CEO. I've read about you. Jiwon stepped forward, bowed slightly. Your brother saved my life. Multiple times. I owe him everything. We all do, Sungjin added. Hajun looked at me. You never told me. All those years, the scars, the nightmares. You were saving people. Couldn't tell you. Too dangerous. I squeezed his hand. But it's over now. Doyen's in custody. You're safe. We're safe, he corrected. Both of us. Both of us, I agreed. Hajun, Jiwon said. Your medical bills are covered. Ongoing treatment. Whatever you need. My brother's jaw dropped. I can't accept. You can. You will. Jiwon's voice was firm but kind. Your brother bled for us. This is the least we can do. And when you're recovered, Shungjin added, if you want to continue your studies, we have scholarship programs. Hajun looked at me. Overwhelmed, I shrugged. Immediately regretted it as my ribs protested. They're annoyingly generous. Just accept. I don't know what to say. Thank you, works, Minho said dryly. Thank you. Hajun's voice shook. All of you. A knock at the door. A doctor entered, middle-aged, stern expression. Mr. Han Yuri, you should be in bed. Probably, I admitted. Definitely. She pointed at the door. Back to your room. Now, before you tear something. Bossy. It's literally my job. She turned to the alphas. You 4, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. We're trying, Jiwon said. He's not cooperative. I'm right here, I muttered. The doctor smiled. Good luck with this one. He's going to be a terrible patient. Already figured that out, Taehyun said cheerfully. I stood, swayed slightly. Jiwon's arm wrapped around my waist. Steady, warm. I've got you, he murmured. I know, I thought. That's the scary part. Back in my room, exhaustion hit like a truck. Speaking, moving, feeling. It was all too much. I collapsed onto the bed, closed my eyes. Rest, Shungjin said softly. We'll be here when you wake up. Don't you have a company to run? I mumbled. It can wait, Jiwan said. You're more important. No, I'm not, I wanted to say. But sleep pulled me under before I could form the words. I dreamed. Not nightmares this time. Not blood and silver and screaming. Just warmth. Safety. 4 heartbeats surrounding mine. When I woke, moonlight streamed through the window. The hospital was quiet, late night or early morning. Someone sat in the chair beside my bed. Minho, reading a tablet, firearm visible under his jacket. You're supposed to be sleeping, I whispered. His head lifted. So are you. Pain woke me. He stood, poured water from the pitcher, helped me sit up carefully, held the cup while I drank. Thanks, I rasped. Anytime. He set the cup down, studied my face. Can I ask you something? Sure. Why did you come back? His eyes were intense, searching. You could have disappeared after Inshin, gone underground, but you kept showing up, kept saving us. Why? I looked at the ceiling, at shadows dancing across white tiles. Because, I paused, chose my words carefully. I saw futures, precognition. Every timeline where you died, the world was worse, darker. Your ability. That's how you knew about the bomb. The attacks. Yeah, I see. Possibilities. Branching paths. I choose which one to make. Real. And you chose us. I chose people living over people dying. I met his eyes. Seemed like an easy choice. Nothing about you is easy, Yuri. But he smiled. Daegu, the ambush. You took 3 bullets meant for me. You remember. I remember white fur, golden eyes, a wolf that moved like lightning. He leaned forward. I searched for you for months, left trails, rewards, hoping you'd come forward. I couldn't. Too many people looking for me. Bad people. I know that now. His hand covered mine. Thank you for my life, for staying alive, for coming back. You're welcome. The words felt inadequate, but they were all I had. The others are asleep in the waiting room, he said. Jiwan threatened the staff to let us stay. Taehyun's snoring. Sungjin's using his coat as a blanket. I smiled. Idiots. You're idiots now. My idiots. The thought settled into my chest. Warm. Permanent. Minho? Yeah? When I heal, when my ribs are better, train with me? His eyebrow raised. You want to spar? Want to see if I'm still faster than you? He grinned, dangerous, delighted. You're on. Loser buys coffee. Deal. He settled back in the chair. Sleep, I'll keep watch. You don't have to. I know, but I want to. His eyes were soft. You've been watching over us for years. Let us return the favor. I wanted to argue, to insist I didn't need protecting, but my eyes were already closing. And for the first time in 6 years, I felt safe enough to let go, to trust someone else to stand guard, to believe that maybe, just maybe, I didn't have to fight alone anymore. Minho, I mumbled, half asleep. Yeah? Thank you for not giving up on finding me. Never. His voice was fierce, gentle. We never stopped looking. We never will. Sleep took me again, and this time my dreams were full of voices, 4 alphas calling me home. Morning came with soft light and the smell of hospital coffee. I woke to find all 4 of them crammed into my room. Jiwan in the chair Minho had occupied. Taehyun sprawled on the window ledge. Shungjin asleep sitting up against the wall. Minho leaning by the door, eyes closed but posture alert. My pack. The thought didn't scare me anymore. I cleared my throat. The sound was rough but stronger than yesterday. You all look terrible. 4 sets of eyes snapped open. He's awake and insulting us, Taehyun said. Definitely healing. Good morning to you too, Jiwan stretched, crossed to the bed, kissed my forehead like it was the most natural thing in the world. How do you feel? Like I got shot, but alive. I touched my throat. The warmth was still there, growing. My voice is better. It is, Shungjin said, moving closer. Stronger, clearer. Pack bonds, I said, testing the words. They came easier now, less pain. It's actually working. Told you, Jawan said smugly. A knock interrupted us. The doctor from yesterday entered with a tablet and a knowing smile. Mr. Han, your test results are remarkable. The bone density around your ribs shows accelerated healing. At this rate, you'll be discharged tomorrow. Tomorrow? I blinked. I was shot 2 days ago. You also have 4 extremely attentive alphas pumping out enough protective pheromones to heal a small army. She glanced at them. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. After she left, silence settled. Comfortable. Warm. So, I said carefully, what happens now? Now, Ji-won sat on the bed edge. You come home to the penthouse. We set you up properly. No more hiding. No more running. And Hajun, he's being discharged today. Full recovery expected. Shungjin smiled. We've arranged an apartment near his university. Security, medical support, whatever he needs. You can't just, we can, we did. Taehyun grinned. Get used to it. I looked at each of them. I don't know how to do this. Be part of something. Belong somewhere. Neither did we, Minho said quietly. Before we found each other. Before we became pack. We'll figure it out together, Jiwon's hand found mine. One day at a time. What about the bounty, the people hunting me? Handled, Minho pulled out his tablet. Doyen gave up his contacts in exchange for a lighter sentence. We've been making calls, settling debts, spreading word that the Silent Blade is under Kang Industries' protection. And if someone still comes, then they'll deal with us. Taehyun's smile was sharp. All of us. Something in my chest loosened. The fear I'd carried for 6 years. The certainty that I'd always be alone. Okay, I whispered. I'll stay. For real this time. The room erupted in smiles. Relief. Joy. Jiwon cupped my face. Can I kiss you properly now, without worrying about your injuries? My ribs are still broken. I'll be gentle. You better be. His kiss was soft, sweet, perfect. When he pulled back, his eyes were warm. I'm falling for you, Han Yuri, just so you know. My breath caught. All of you, or just you? Does it matter? Shungjin moved closer. Because I'm pretty sure we all are. Definitely all of us, Taehyun confirmed. Minho just nodded, but his smile said everything. I don't understand. My voice shook. I'm broken, damaged. I've killed people. You saved people, Jiwon corrected. You saved us. You gave up everything to keep us alive. And now, Shungjin added, we want to give you something back. A home, a family, a future. If you'll have us, Taehyun said. I looked at them, really looked, at 4 alphas who saw past the scars, past the violence, past the silence. Who saw me? Yeah, I said, voice stronger now. Clear. I'll have you, all of you. Good. Jiwon's smile was brilliant. Because we're not letting you go. The next day they brought me home. Not to the office, to their actual home. The penthouse I'd only seen briefly before. It was beautiful, spacious, warm, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Hyundai Beach. Sunset painting, everything gold. Your room, Shungjin opened a door. We set it up while you were in the hospital. I stepped inside. The space was perfect. Minimalist but comfortable. A desk, bookshelves, soft lighting, and on the nightstand, Hajun's photo I'd left in my old apartment. How did you... We have our ways, Minho said. Welcome home, Yuri. Home. The word fit now, settled into my bones like it belonged. That night we sat on the terrace, all 5 of us, watching the ocean, drinking tea, just existing together. I have a question, I said. Shoot, Taehyun said. The assistant job, was it real or were you hoping I'd show up? Jiwon smiled. Little of both. We needed help, but we also left trails, hoping the silent blade would find us. And I walked right into it. Best decision you ever made, he said. Second best, I corrected. First was saving you in Guangzhou. His hand found mine. Squeezed. Sungjin leaned against my other side, careful of my healing ribs. What will you do now? Now that you're not hunting threats? I don't know. I looked at the ocean, at the future stretching before me. Open, possible. Maybe go to university with Hajun. Maybe work with you for real. Maybe just exist without constantly watching my back. All of that sounds perfect, Minho said. One thing, though, I added, I keep training. Keep my skills sharp, just in case. Deal, Jiwon said, but no more solo missions. We work as a team now. A pack, I said softly. A pack, they agreed. Taehyun raised his teacup. To the silent blade, the most annoying, heroic, beautiful Omega we've ever met. I'm the only Omega you've met, I pointed out. Doesn't make it less true. We clinked cups, and for the first time in my life, I felt it. Belonging, safety, home. My phone buzzed. Text from Hajun. Settled into the new place? It's amazing, thank you. And thank your alphas. Love you, Hyung. I smiled, showed them the message. He called us your alphas, Sungjin noted. Are you? I looked at each of them. Mine? If you want us to be, Jiwon said. I do. The words came easy. True. I really do. Then it's settled. He pulled me, close, kissed my temple. Your hours were yours forever. Forever. I used to think forever was a lie. Something people promised but never kept. But looking at them, at four men who'd searched for me, protected me, healed me, maybe forever was possible after all. Hey, I said, voice clear and strong. Thank you for not giving up on me. Never, they said in unison, and I believed them. The silent blade had finally found peace, not in silence, not in shadows, but in voices calling me home, in a pack that chose me, in a future worth fighting for. I was home. Thank you so much for watching this story unfold. If you loved Yuri's journey from the silent blade to finding his pack, his voice in his home, please hit that subscribe button. We've got tons more emotionally intense, beautifully crafted stories featuring strong omegas, protective alphas, and love that conquers all. Drop a comment below telling us your favorite moment. Was it when Yuri's voice returned? The rooftop confession? Let us know. And don't forget to like this video and share it with fellow romance lovers. Your support means everything and helps us bring you more incredible stories like this one. Until next time, may you find your own pack, your own home, and your own voice. See you in the next story.